Hi, my name's Vaughan Rivet. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what happened with Taupo. So, for those of you who've been watching for a while, I've been training for the Taupo Cycle Challenge. It was a 160 kilometer race, if you want to call it a race. To me, it was more of a challenge around Lake Taupo in New Zealand. So, 160 kilometers. So yeah, my review of it really. I seem to get through. I'm still alive, but it took me probably around about the time I originally estimated based on my training. So it took me 7 hours and 34 minutes. Now, some people do that in under 4 minutes, oh, sorry, in under 4 hours. So it took me a while, and it was a long, long time on the bike. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of it, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. It pushed me, it made me push my body as hard as I possibly could. It wasn't something I would say was necessarily an enjoyable ride. Right from the start, you are straight into the hills, and I mean maybe 100, maybe 200 meters, and you reach your first hill. Um, Now, the cool thing was that I actually met up with a friend at the start line who I didn't expect to see there. Anyway, we managed to cycle together for most of it. The group I was in was probably one of the later groups. Well, it was because there are about 9 groups and we're in group 7. It was interesting just seeing that the people in that group were of the same capability as me. So most of us cycled together for most of the race. We were passing each other, we were talking to each other, all of those kind of things. Probably at the 80k mark, 80 kilometer mark, I started with the mind games, kind of thinking, oh, maybe I should just quit while I'm ahead. It's well, not even ahead. So halfway through, and I just reminded myself that this is what I had been training for, and if I hadn't done that training, I probably would have been finding it a darn sight harder than what it was. So anyway, I continued on, and anyway, as I got around towards the back of the lake, it got even hillier. Man, it had some real climbs. So um, I was climbing these hills, and it's like you just look and you go, "Oh, cool!" The hill goes around to the corner as you go up it, and you're like, "That must be the end of the hill." Nope, you go around the corner, and the hill keeps going and going and going. I lost my friend at this point, so she had actually stopped off and somehow caught up with me. I'm not sure how she did that, but anyway, so kept going, and then we found that yeah, the downhills were great. The downhills were really cool, but again, you're with other people, so you got to kind of take a bit of care. Further on, it kind of became flat probably after about 90 kilometers. There was quite a bit of flat distance and it was quite nice. Saw a bit of the lake. That's the funny thing. They call it the, Lake Taupo Cycle Challenge, but you actually hardly see the lake for most of it. So anyway, kept going. Went through Turangi. Looked there and saw, I was pretty hungry by this point, so I saw people at Burger King, and I thought maybe we'd stop and get a burger, but we didn't. We kept going. But there were about 5 bikes there, so anyway, you know, probably by this time over 6.5 hours on the bike, and pretty hungry. We had food, had energy gels, those sorts of things, but really needed something a bit more substantial. So anyway, my friend and I, we agreed to stop at the next cafe where I got a quiche, and yeah, that quiche actually made a big difference. The next hill we faced was Hard Tippy Hill, and I tell you what, when you looked at it, it just looked like it went straight up. Interesting thing is I noticed a couple of people walking ahead of me, probably about 100 meters up the road, and yeah, I wasn't catching up to them while I was cycling. I was literally doing the same speed as what they were doing walking while I was cycling. I caught up with them at the top of the hill, of course. After that, it was downhill and it was flat pretty much the rest of the way home. The last 10 minutes teemed with rain. Teemed with rain, absolutely. It felt a little bit more like hail, to be honest. But other than that, the weather was pretty good and it wasn't particularly windy. So on the home straight, I basically was doing around about 15, 16 kilometers an hour. I should have been doing 35, 40 kilometers an hour. but the weather just was really bad. However, it cleared up, and by the time I actually finished, yeah, there was no wind or rain, so it was just passing through. So anyway, did that. Yeah, absolutely had it by the end, and yeah, went to prize giving. Quite sore. The next day, I could hardly sit down. It seems like when I bent down to sit, could get so far, and I kind of had to just drop myself into the seat. Driving home, yeah, driving home. I was with another friend driving home the following day, so I spent the night there in Taupo. And anyway, it was just like, do I actually stop the car, get out, get my bike seat, and replace the driver's seat with the bike seat because I wasn't sure which was going to be actually more comfortable. Bum was so sore. Anyway, yeah. Since the race has been interesting, on the Monday afterwards, I had to fly to Sydney for a conference. So yeah, spent 3 or 4 days there. So no cycling. I didn't get to do a recovery ride. However, within a couple of days, I was over all the aches and things. That was cool. But the interesting thing was when I came back and hopped on the bike for a ride, the next day I was absolutely stuffed. In fact, the whole of that weekend, I think I cycled on the Saturday. The rest of the weekend I just spent on the couch at home. And again on Monday I cycled to work and back. Felt okay. Tuesday came, I could hardly keep my eyes open at work. Yeah, so a friend of mine said to me that basically I just needed to do some more carb loading and what have you. My body was so depleted after it. So yeah, some of the cool things. So yeah, went for a ride with a couple of friends. We've all done Taupo together. Well, not together, but we all did Taupo. Man, our averages have increased. We travelled in a group. Usually on a really good day, my average on a particular route I like to do, which is reasonably flat, we usually get about 26 kilometres an hour. We were doing 28 kilometres an hour the other night, so that was pretty cool. I've also found that going to work, yeah, it's been pretty good today. We're well over 2 weeks since the race, maybe come out to three, a full 2 weeks anyway. Yeah, today I got about 9 personal records on the way to work and probably another 9 on the way home. So yeah, my speed has definitely increased as a result of it. What I'm doing now is I'm looking to do another race. So I want to do the Tour des Ranges, which is coming up. It's a bit closer, don't have to travel as far to get there. So that's coming up in mid-January in the Hunua Ranges in South Auckland, or south of Auckland, I should probably say. So yeah. So what else would I say? So just, yeah, I'll probably put some other videos together, to be honest. Just sharing some of the things I learnt on the day that might help other people that are looking to do it. So that'll be pretty good. So my view now, okay, I achieved this goal. What is my next goal? Okay, well, my next goal is Tour des Ranges, but I look at that and it's only 110 kilometers. It's funny now because I talk about anything smaller than Taupo is only something. In fact, I was saying to my friends, now when we look at hills, it's just like, there's not a hill. After Taupo, man, every hill just seems to be non-existent, really. So yeah, we've toughened up a bit. But anyway, so yeah, my view on things now is that I want to do Taupo again, and I want to do a lot better speed than what I did. One of my friends did 3 weeks training. He hadn't even ridden his bike for maybe 3 months before that. And he was 5 hours 50. So, quite a bit ahead of me. So anyway, he's lighter than me. So, I'm weighing 112 kgs at the moment, and I really need to get disciplined and lose maybe 40 kgs before next year's cycle challenge. Taupo Cycle Challenge. So I want to do it again, and I want to see what the difference is if I lose a bit of weight. I also want to make sure that by this time next year that I've actually increased the number of kilometres that I do. So my goal for the year for kilometres was 5,000 kilometres. I'm currently about 200 kilometres away, so I should be able to finish that quite comfortably. But yeah, I certainly would hope that I'd be looking at, yeah, maybe 5,500 kilometers. So anyway, next year if I can add to that, increase that a bit, and get in some earlier rides earlier in the year, hopefully I can just work on increasing my fitness, so that I've got more stamina when it comes to the actual race, and some longer rides and things as well. So yeah, so that's a little bit about my experience. Yes, I got a medal. Everyone got a medal for completing it, so that was pretty cool. Got a new shirt, new cycling shirt from Holden. In fact, I've got a Skoda shirt coming my way for this next race, so that's kind of cool too. Um, yeah, and I'm just kind of encouraging other people to get out there. So yeah, I hope that you found my videos inspirational. As I've said, I'll put together some more videos that you can watch to share some of my experiences, um, and what I took with me, those sorts of things. And yeah, what else? Yeah, I'll just keep sharing videos and let you know how my weight loss is going and my training for next year. Yeah, thanks a lot for following me. Oh, and to those people who have actually followed me on Strava and found me on there, that was pretty cool. And yeah, a few of us have connected on Strava, so if you want to connect there as well. The other thing is the money I was trying to raise for Heart Kids. I reached my goal of $1,000. In fact, that was exceeded, so I think it's close to 1,100. So that was pretty cool too. Anyway, thanks a lot for your time.